Hey everybody, welcome. Thanks for joining me. I'd appreciate it so much. Hello, Sweet Eye. Hello, MCM. Texas Toast, Amy Judy. Welcome. We got Lara is okay. Hey, Cherry Steel Girl. Welcome, welcome everybody. I gotta pause a few things here. Hello, Lynn Smith. Desiree, I do see that she's live. Open chat bees. Maybe the last 10 minutes. Who knows? We got Oranges Poranges in the house. Hey, Texas Toast. We have Tishadi, we got Lynn Smith, we got Mama Scrunch. Welcome. Hi there, Cringe Addict. Hi there, Ash, Desiree, Jenna T, Coffee and Cannabis, Izzy S, Diane again, Erin Tay, Pebbles, Ash once again. Sorry you're having a bad day, Ash. Hopefully we can cheer you up. We got Susie Q. We also have Desiree again, Supercat, KT, Chris G, Daisy Player, Okie Dog, Claudio Beach Ball, Bada Bing Bada Boom. We got Jennifer, Pizza's Little Brony Collection, White Witch, Mons, Misunderstood, Texas Toast, Amy Joe. Welcome, everybody. If you want to join the panel, join the panel. There's a lot to talk about. Hey, Angela. Hey, what's up, Texas Peep? Again, Deb F. Um, right now is a very bad time for her to be live with this open chat beezing. Come on now. Is this her passive aggressivity here where she sees I'm coming on, so she opens her chat, or is this just a mere coincidence? Who knows? Hey Linda Lou, hi there Ash, Just Deb, Enola, Raven. Is it Raven Mayer? Hi there, Bebop. How are you doing? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Trainwreck Lover, hi there. Is it confirmed? I am so sorry to hear Mama Didi. So her mom unfortunately passed away. Hearts in the chat for Skinny Queen's mom. I wasn't really sure, but I guess it's confirmed. Her mom did pass away. I'm so sorry to hear. Thank you, Rainy Day Woman. Hi there, Kelly Wade. Amy Judy, Puppy Breath. Hi there. Wait no more for Darla. Welcome. Very sad times. A lot of us are losing our loved ones. I'm so sorry to hear about what Skinny Queen is going through. Very, very unfortunate. Thank you for all the hearts in the chat, everybody. Thank you so much. We're a community. And my thoughts and prayers goes out to Skinny Queen. All right, we got MCM in the back. I'll add you MCM right now. If you want to turn off your camera, go ahead. If not, then keep it on. How are you doing?
Oh, I've I've been better.
Yeah,
It was yeah, quite a night last night. How are you?
I'm okay. Just hanging in there, surviving.
Oh, well, we'll got to work on that. You're gonna be doing better than surviving in no time.
Yeah, for sure.
It seems yeah, the community's a mess, ain't it? But
Yeah, a lot of things are happening. I just wonder when is the change gonna happen? Because now she's doing open chat, right? So
it'll be over in 10 minutes. She doesn't have a thick enough skin, so. But I just wanted to apologize because last night in my live stream, I kind of lost my damn mind. She made me so mad that I think I screamed the R word at her, not racist, the other R word. I called her a Riri several times because
okay,
she just really got to me with her cavalier attitude and the whole Shannon thing
yeah,
and the FFG thing and yeah. So and I stated in context to who we're talking about. I'm not talking about somebody with an actual disability, but that was probably inappropriate. So yeah, but she made me pretty mad, and I still stand by that statement, even though I know that it's offensive. But yeah, it's an outrage. She's been an absolute outrage. And then I got uh, I got bombarded by a gaggle of ex Beezers and Mesca fans, and I was just so I was so you know I need to recombobulate myself. It's like I was so stunned I didn't know what to do, and I should have given them the boot, and the train left the tracks in the station, and it was a mess. So
Also, they brigaded you all at once.
yeah, and I don't know. I think SJM was live. I'm not sure, but Jessica was supposed to go live, and she now they weren't rude or anything, but it's a infestation that shouldn't have happened, crossing lines and whatnot. So I'm probably going to be rectifying and explaining things in my next stream, because I have not switched sides. I have no desire to be up in Meska's chat. I was just defending like Vegas doll because she's dingy, but she's pretty harmless. I it's just one of those things, and Meska still continues to be. I think she's live now, showing her whole ass kids on camera and all that. So the problems continue, even though I did say that she has potential. She could have a really great channel, but I just don't think that her problems are sinking in with the seriousness of them. So because I said some nice things, it's being taken out of context, and I just need to, and yeah, it was a hot mess, and I kind of panicked, and I didn't lay the law down, didn't have my mods do what they should have done. So yeah, it's I didn't even think about it until after the fact.
I see, I see. Okay, well, hopefully you can rectify that in, on your next stream.
Yeah, but Chantal's a whole she's a whole mess, and just when you think she can't go any lower, she just really I don't know how much lower she can go, but we all know that she's going to go lower. It can always get worse, but
Yeah,
her lack
exactly.
her lack of empathy, towards FFG losing her dog. I mean, you can still hate somebody and give condolences, and not the way she attacked you about your the loss of your mother after what she did after the loss of her grandmother. It's just she doesn't even zero self-awareness. And here she is talking about um, possibly doing something with her sick cat that she won't get veterinary care to, out of convenience, for if she should move to Montreal, which we know she isn't, but it's a thought that counts. And yet she's saying these horrible things about FFG and her dog. It just she's subhuman. She's subhuman. I understand it, but I don't. I don't think there's any help for her.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, Faith, happy birthday to your daughter. Happy birthday to her. If you're celebrating a birthday, I guess I could sing a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
you. Happy
Happy
birthday, happy
birthday, happy
birthday,
birthday,
happy
happy
birthday
birthday to
to
your
you.
daughter.
Hey
Um,
there, Nancy. Yeah.
yeah, my housemate's kid's birthday is tomorrow, and mine's on the 18th.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Hey there, perfectly imperfect. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you guys?
I'm all right.
I just
Hi.
I just wanted to send out condolences to Skinny Queen, and Monty, to you. I know this is probably bringing back stuff for you too. There's nothing you can really say, except that we're thinking of you and sending love and positive energy. That's all we can do.
Yeah, exactly. And I can't believe, yeah, Foodie Beauty saying the vile things about Ollie and all that mess. Like, she can never redeem herself. It's just disgusting.
Yeah, she's disgusting. And I have to say, she reacted to FFG. That was a joke. Like FFG is so like they're two different levels. Like Chantal's like, you're dumb, you're stupid, you're ugly, you're fat, and like FFG is like pounding her with facts and like really going at it. And you could see Chantal was uncomfortable. She knew it. It just
Mm-hmm.
was not a fair fight. It was like an 8-year-old fighting against like a 30-year-old. It was just not fair. I
Yeah,
can't even believe she
yeah.
even attempted it. Like she's pathetic.
Like, I don't think that she has found me yet, but all of us. All she does, like you said, is you're fat, and you're comb over, and or whatever, whoever she's insulting. That's all she does. Monty's a bug eye and whatnot. But we're up there, and we'll tell her you did X, Y, Z, resulting in one, two, three. Like, we give her the reasons and the results of it, and it has nothing to do with her looks, and it just she doesn't get it. So, you know, she's as good as roasting things as Nader is roasting a chicken.
Yeah, well, my thing to be that I would say to Foodie Beauty, that a therapist would probably say to Foodie Beauty, do you want to be right or do you want to be happy? Because they're two different things. And you can see she's miserable. She's miserable. She doesn't like the way she looks. She doesn't like the way she acts. She doesn't like the men she has to pay. She doesn't like her bald head. She doesn't even like her cat. She doesn't like Pete. She doesn't like her mom. She doesn't like her aunt. She doesn't like her sister. She doesn't like her best friends. She doesn't like anything. You're miserable, Foodie. Miserable. And stop blaming everybody else and look at yourself. It is you. You are the common denominator. You are the problem. And you're just going to continue to be miserable. The problem is she's bringing everybody down. You can feel it. Like, who was it yesterday? I think it was Erie who said she's so dark. She's so dark. She's so heavy. She's so toxic. I can see why nobody wants to be around her. And honestly, Shannon, the best thing that ever happened to Shannon was Foodie not going to that hospital or not calling
Mm-hmm.
her on the phone. It was the best thing that ever happened. And FFG going, I think they both need each other right now. I think they're both going to be a good support for each other. But keep Foodie out of your life. Everybody. Like, don't. And Skinny Queen, she put a community tab about you. She always has an ulterior motive. There's always a thought, like a reason why she's doing what she's doing. Be careful of her. She is toxic.
Right, but the crazy thing is that she's so angry and jealous, but she won't step up and visit her friend that she's, like I said last night. You've known this woman for 22 years, and yes, the circumstances of FFG and Shannon becoming friends were unusual to say the least, but that's an actual real growing friendship. So even though as painful as it is, I agree the best thing was for Foodie not to even step up, but also the way that she raged, and so that Shannon could see it. Because I think not so much Foodie, but I think that Shannon, maybe in the back of her mind, oh, this will pass, or maybe we can make up later. I think that there's no choice but to close that door now, and this made it easy. As painful as it is, there's no going back.
No. Hey, Erie.
Hi,
Hi
Yuri.
everyone. Hi MCM. Hi Perfectly. Hi
Hey.
Milk Toast Monty.
Hello.
um Before I go forward, I do want to offer my condolences to Skinny Queen and her family. You are in my prayers. I can't imagine what you're going through. And I did want to touch on the whole Shannon thing. I find it funny that Chantal is infuriated that FFG went to see Shannon. Why are you mad? You had an opportunity to go see her, and you took that opportunity to be spiteful, vengeful,
Mm-hmm.
nasty. So you should be mad at yourself, not at anyone else,
Yeah.
right?
It's all me, 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 I. She turns it around to, but what I'm going through and living in the past and rewriting history, it's sickening. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, you would be right, Erie. But she's not. She's not a normal person. She's not thinking normally. She's not.
Right.
Nothing she's doing makes sense to me at all. Nothing. Like, even her saying, "I never said her name. I never said her name." Are you really, Foodie? Really? Are we gonna play this game? Come on, you're 38 years old. Are you that stupid? I mean, I know
She's
that
just a ball of hate.
she is.
Like
Yeah.
she's a ball of darkness, and it's like, girl, you are your own creator of your own chaos, and you have no one to blame but yourself.
Well, she knew when she said, "Oh," and then she created a reaction channel. That was her dropping breadcrumbs. She knew that everybody was going to figure it out, but she's too much of a coward to just come out and say, Shannon, you did this, this, and this.
Yeah,
Because
and
that's what she does. She's evasive but direct at the same time.
what's interesting to me though is I kind of recall, I think it was, I don't know if it was May or June, I don't know, when she went back to Nader and they were friends again. Remember, they decided they were going to be friends, and her chat was saying to her, like, they were reminding her, like, he made fun of you, like, he went on, he put your underwear on, he called you out, he created a reaction channel against her. And you remember Foodie saying, "But I'm a forgiving person. I can
Mm-hmm.
move forward. No, Foodie, you're a
Mm-hmm.
pick me girl. You are a pick me girl. You're gonna excuse
Mm-hmm.
him because he has the D. But your girlfriend who's been there for 30 years, all of a sudden you can't see her. Although you could have pizza with her in July. Isn't that
She could have
interesting?
video chatted her perfectly. She didn't even have
Yeah.
to leave her office chair that she rolls around in the house with. Like, she could have just video chatted and said, "Hey, I'm
Yeah.
sorry that you're going through this.
Or
I,
even yeah. Even if she
I
just said, I can't. I'm not in the headspace. It's the fact she took
right.
it to the internet and we knew who she was talking about. Don't be
Right.
dumb. Don't be stupid.
Right. But the thing is that she likes when other people, she actually does, she's not sorry and she doesn't care. She actually is getting off on the suffering that Shannon's going through because that's also who she is.
Yeah, but does she not care? Because she's not sleeping very well.
For
You know
her
what
own
they
personal
say.
reasons, things that are affecting her,
Yeah,
whatever
you know
they
what they
are,
say.
and Natter and the obsession and the chemicals and all that. That's what's keeping her up at night. Absolutely zero conscious of a guilty conscience is keeping her up. I can
It's
guarantee
also
that.
deflection, MCM. Okay, can we point out the one thing I think she's trying to deflect from? Currently, at the moment, Nader admitted that she did indeed pay him for sex.
Uh huh. Yep.
What more typical move from Chantal than to start some kind of nastiness towards anyone and deflect from that? I mean, granted, that happened after the Shannon incident. So I think the Shannon incident in and of itself is just Chantal sitting on an opportunity to attack someone she pretended to be a friend to. I'm going to say it. You pretended to be her friend, Chantal. You pretended.
Mm-hmm.
If you knew you weren't over whatever you think happened in your head, then why the hell even try? You should have been upfront and said, "Hey, I'm still upset that you tried to help me," because
But
that's what happened.
Yeah, because she's terrible. She's terrible at damage control.
Iri, do you think that maybe her? Oh, she always has a reason for what she does. Do you think her reason for doing this to Shannon and outing her was to kind of show Natter, like, look, I'm not talking to her. I don't know. I just
Yeah. I mean, honestly, she has done a lot of things. I don't know what do y'all think? Because in my opinion, I do think that she does do things to kind of gain Natter's favor.
mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's possible, but I don't think that she realizes that even if Natter were to come around, quote unquote, it would only be to use her for whatever. It would not. It wouldn't be for what she wants. So it's if it were to work, it's not going to work the way she is fantasizing and scripting it in her head that it should work.
Well, I'm sorry.
But
You
yes,
can't.
I agree. She does do those things.
Yeah, you can't convince me they're not talking. I
Oh,
absolutely
they
think they're
absolutely
talking,
are.
100%. And I know people are like, no, Natter hates her. No, Natter doesn't care. Natter is
Mm.
about him, and he doesn't hate or care. Because to hate somebody, you have to love somebody, right? So I think he's very indifferent, and he's just doing what he has to do to survive. And he's keeping Foodie in his back pocket, and he's talking to her. Does Dede
Hmm.
know? I don't know. Maybe. I mean, it did come up that he admitted that he did sleep with Shushu. So obviously Dede doesn't care what he does, so there's that too. So anybody who says, well, Dede wouldn't allow it, yes, she would. Absolutely
Also,
she would.
it's
Yeah.
confirmed he did actually sleep with Shushu.
Yeah, I
Oh
think
my
it was
goodness.
somebody it was Queen El Shami. She did a video and she clipped it, and somebody in the comments asked, they made fun of him, like, you didn't get Shushu, and he's like, well, actually I did. And Dede was there, and that you could see Dede's face. She was just very smug, and he's like, I did. He's like, I'm going to answer that, and I did get her. I did. So yeah, he confirmed it. I believe it's the Queen El Shami Reacts. It's like her second channel, and she did,
Okay.
or I
Well,
think it's he or she. They did clip it.
but he lies a
So,
lot. Do you think that that could also be him just like, not wanting to admit it and all
No,
that?
I think he's. I
Think he
believe it.
did?
I do.
Because I think Dede is totally complicit in all this. I
Yeah,
think Chantal's
I do too.
yeah.
talking with and seeing both of them. I think if she gets visitation with Nodder alone sometimes, but Dee Dee's along for the package.
Dede is an instigator and a scripter and a recruiter.
Yeah.
Yep, there you go.
If anything, I would say she's the, and I lose this term loosely, she's the brains behind it all, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was watching yesterday when he was raging and all that, she was supposed to be cooking. And I'm glad you showed yourself on camera, Dede, because now we get to see exactly what you look like when Nader is on one of his moods. And I saw nothing but smiles. What appeared to me to be someone who gets turned on by watching a man scream at others and threaten others. So thanks for showing yourself on camera, Dede. Because the minute someone look, they're such idiots. They didn't realize that whoever came into that chat as I think it's Yum Yum that they were trying to pretend to be.
Yeah.
That was obviously a troll.
Yeah.
And he just went off. And if that doesn't show those people that at any second, they're never going to be an exception. You're just the next one in line.
Yeah. Now, I actually have it's a question about Dee Dee, but kind of related, kind of not. And I'm trying to put myself in her shoes, and I'm trying to remember a past experience I have with somebody that has substance abuse problems. But we know that she drinks a lot and she gets drunk and all that. But for me, and maybe because I'm quote unquote normal, if I were around Natter's type of energy, that cracked out energy and that aggression, I would be actually scared. I wouldn't be, because I'm scared of people like that, so I wouldn't be with them. But how can she be so well-mannered, and that's all fake, this prim and proper well-mannered stuff, because you can't be if you're with somebody like Nader. But how is she able to be so mellow and calm around that? I mean, are they not, do the same chemicals affect people differently, or is she only drinking and that's how she copes with Nader? Or does the Coca-Cola or the mathematics affect her different? Like, I don't understand. Their energies are so different. They're both vile human beings, but their energies are so different. I just don't understand how
I
she's
think
able
she
to do
likes
it.
it. I think she likes it, MCM, and I'm going to be quite honest. I think this is some sort of sick and twisted foreplay for her.
I agree with you, Erie. I think this is a sexual deviance thing.
Okay, I mean that. Yeah. I mean, Lindsay Constantino. Yeah, I know that she is, but he's no dom. I mean, they're doing it. I guess they're doing dom sub their way. That makes sense, but it also is just so.
Yeah,
Know,
she's a sub,
bizarre.
but it's not like it's
not proper.
Typical sub. It's not typical
right
of what they do. Yeah. No,
I
sure.
think if you listen to Rose Thorn explained it really well. And I kind of agree once she explained it to me, both in private and on her videos. I think that they're both switches. So they switch between sub and dom.
That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense. I wish we could, anyone could find their profiles, but I'm sure people have been looking on FET and other places, other alternative lifestyle sites, but none of their profiles have been found. They're probably, I don't know, something's happening.
With the exception of his old Plenty of Fish thing that you found or whatever.
It
or
was
you...
on what's that? It was on gay.ca. Actually, one of his profiles was on.
Oh.
Hey, Nancy C. Yeah, so that site is kind of around, but it's I believe it's not accepting signups anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I know that there are, as many ways to BDSM as colors of the rainbow. I mean, there's no set right and wrong way and all that stuff. But on the other hand, as a sub, I look at them and I'm like, this is messed up. This is the wrong way, but it works for them.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
guess so. I did see that Didi was liking the machismo dynamic of Nader when he was speaking about. He was really walking around it, but he was speaking about just really meeting up whoever is saying all this crap in his chat and really physically handling them. That's what he really was about, and what he was
Mm-hmm.
really trying to say. But it was very walking around it, and like Eric Perfoni said, you could really see her face. She was very like, oh, like if she's really getting turned on or she's loving, the machismo, especially with his shirt off. And it seems like I don't know. Does he look skinnier or does he look like he put on a little bit of muscle? What do you guys think?
No,
Oh
he's
no,
Well,
skinny.
he
He's
looks
skinny.
um sickly.
Yeah.
sickly. I
Yeah, he
was
looks bad.
in my live last night when I was watching the uh a troll detective video. I had to pause it. I couldn't get over like the is it the clavicle the in between the chest bone? Like when you do CPR on somebody that really needs it, you'd have to break that bone. That center part of his chest, not the collarbone, but in the center of the chest,
Oh,
is
I know what you're talking about.
concaved. Like
Yeah.
and in a weird way, when he bent over, he's so skinny and malnourished that his skin is loose. It looked like he had rolls, but it's not fat. I was shocked. I mean, he really, really has lost weight. He's looking very gaunt, very sickly. Yeah.
Yeah, he's so skin and bones. Dee Dee can put him out for Halloween decoration.
Yeah.
She could. So it'd be like, yeah, he looks real, and he's also his face is gaunt, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, he looks really bad. So I don't know. Who knows what's
Mm,
going on there? I
He
think
he he
wasn't it
appears to be binging a lot
Sternum. Yeah,
perfectly.
sternum. That's it. Sorry. Yeah.
Monty? I know we at one point had wondered if he was sick, and I'm wondering if he is. I mean, the cough. Who knows? TB. It could be anything. Hepatitis. You know.
This is a guy that, I mean, according to Foodie, refused to take antibiotics because he could not possibly have had an STI.
Mm-hmm. None of them seem to like to take their medication. I wonder if, and let's pretend some of these guys are real, aside from Big Turk. Well, what has she been spreading around?
Well, they like illegal medications. Nothing
Yeah.
legal. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Nothing prescribed, but they'll take the.
He
They
was
like
Right,
the
but
pill.
nothing
obviously
that's going
on a
to cure their
binge.
multiple, cooties down there.
Yeah.
He was on an obvious binge, y'all. Like if you remember earlier, he before he went live, he did that pre-recorded walking to the coffee shop video.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately when I clicked on that video, I paused and I took a screenshot. I put it on Twitter and I'm like, this guy does not look okay. First of all, he's walking and he's constantly like looking over his shoulders. Like, did
Paranoia.
y'all notice that? He
Mm.
had that massive paranoia.
Yeah.
Then he goes on, what, two,
Yeah,
three
it
hours
was
later?
Eves. Yeah, he's. I think Eves is looking for him.
What?
Oh, go ahead, Erie. Go ahead.
And then 2 to 3 hours later, he goes on the live stream and he initiates with, I haven't slept in what, 3 days? And I finally, I guess it caught up with me. And then when he's done cooking, there's the whole anger. The anger is always there. But then when he's done cooking, did you see how he was pacing back and forth in the living room?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on some strong stuff.
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
definitely.
he's always pacing around like a like an agitated panther or something, and obviously very paranoid. And those crazy eyes. He is definitely on something.
My husband thinks it's meth. He said it really sounds like meth.
It really does because meth is
Yeah.
one of the drugs that I know makes you stay up for
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
extended periods of
And you get
time.
really skinny with it too. Really
yeah.
skinny. And paranoid, the paranoia.
So is Foodie on that as well? I mean, she's obviously not getting skinny with it, but she's up.
Well, she is. She lost 8
She
pounds
never
in two
sleeps.
days.
Yeah.
It's a miracle.
Well, I mean, she did do all that walking, but then again, with her cured diabetes, she ate what, probably 10,000 calories in sugar and spray cheese.
Yeah. Yeah, these people are crazy. They're absolutely crazy. You know, FFG said something about Foodie today about she said like you're always the villain in every story. You're the villain. And I was thinking about that. I'm like, geez, she even at one point made people sympathetic toward Nader. Like that's how bad she is. Like you remember when like every people were flying to Nader's channel because they didn't believe Foodie and like that's how bad she is. She just can't be trusted or anything.
Even Nader and Dede are also gaining sympathy from their own lies. His sub count is going back up again. I don't get it.
Yeah, it might be because of Foodie. I don't know. Like people don't like her and they go there, which I don't understand that. But
So how long is she going to be able to keep this up? Because we don't know when another Sam's Bar Lounge is going to drop. But the damage from that has already been done. She knows that all of us know that they're still together, but it's not like she can take him to another sleazy hour rate hotel and do a vlog with him, because the backlash, either they don't care, they're trying to figure it out, or she's just frustrated because she knows she has to forever keep this under wraps and keep lying about it, keep deflecting, keep doing damage control, and trying to be sneaky with driving here and fake airport pickups, this and that, and all this and whatnot, because the gig is up.
I don't think they're seeing each other. I think she's talking to him, he's talking to her. I think she is waiting for him to need her, and I think he's keeping her for when he needs her. That's what I think. I think she's just kind of I think that's why she went to Montreal that night. She was hoping he was going to call her to pick her up to go to court. I think she's just in limbo. And that's what I see with her. She's very impatient. She just seems restless. There's something about her that is restless. Like, and I'm just wondering if she just seems to be restless and I think ultra focused on him because she's obviously not over him. She has let
Oh yeah.
she's done so many slip ups lately, and have said things, and then she catches herself. Like today with FFG, she called him her boyfriend again. Yeah, again, and then she's like, "Oh, I mean my
Mm-hmm.
ex boyfriend," and it's like, I don't
Right.
know.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like if I hate somebody, you're never gonna be my boyfriend again. You're right. I'm always gonna like my
If
ex.
if I hate someone, I don't talk about them because I
Yeah.
delete you from my life. You're done. You're out of my life. I don't think about you. I don't even mention you. I don't interact with you. I don't care how much you poke at me. Like we're done.
Yeah, wait a second. Wasn't he gone for like a day or so, like 2 days ago?
He was. Yeah, we didn't
He
hear from him for
was.
like 24 hours. Yeah.
Wasn't it 2 days ago she was at the Long Road parking lot 27 again, but she was on the other side?
Yep. That's when she took her walk there. Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Mm-hmm.
wasn't her nose giving her issues, and now
Yep.
he's, losing sleep. It's all coming together, I guess.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time before we find him at another motel.
Oh yeah, it's only a matter of time. Only a matter of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And I guess she's not getting the apartment in Montreal now.
Yeah, she said
Oh,
that she's no longer moving.
oh, is that where we're at now? No more
Yeah,
move?
no
Yeah,
more
she,
moving.
she said she was like her application was accepted, but nobody's buying it. We're all pretty
Yeah.
sure that she was rejected.
Sorry.
Or another possibility is she only got accepted for one apartment, not two, which,
Oh yeah,
yeah, and that
that
would
would make
because
sense.
I thought that too. I'm like, okay, I could see maybe them giving you one apartment, but two, that's like a big liability.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sorry,
It
I,
is a
I
huge liability.
hit the X. And Rose Thorn mentioned something. I absolutely agree. She's been for a while. She was doing well. Like her last summer, her allergies. She had maybe gotten used to sniffing stuff, but now she's sneezing and she's rubbing her nose a lot, and she's doing the finger licking thing. So she's definitely back on that. But I think perfectly imperfect that I'm going to agree and kind of disagree. I think that they are kind of seeing each other. She's either A, making these constant trips to Montreal to try to make Nader jealous, and Nader and Dede jealous or whatever. And they know it's a joke or whatever. But, or she's trying to play us, which, she is, to make it. She's going to great lengths and extremes to make these dates believable, going here, renting a hotel here and there, and going to restaurants and all this stuff and whatnot, and taking these trips. But I think that some of the time, I think that she has seen them. I think it's a combination of all of that. And I do think that she's sniffing a lot again. She's definitely on a spiral.
Yeah, and she's up all the time, and then the energy she has lately, which she never had before, it's just all very odd, to me, how she's acting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Didn't Nader also admit that the first time she did drugs with him, she did like the full 7 grams and literally had to go to the hospital because she almost had a heart attack?
Well, he said she did have a heart attack.
Oh my
Okay, so
God.
he did. Okay,
He did.
so
He said you remember that night you went to hospital and you had a heart attack. Now he might have, I don't know. His English isn't great, so but
right.
that wouldn't surprise me if she had a little minor heart attack and that's why her heart is enlarged and that's why the doctor wasn't cuz of course her heart would be damaged. Cuz she was like, "Yeah, the doctor didn't care my heart was enlarged." Well, they might just be like, "Yeah, you had a heart attack a year ago."
Yeah, there needs to be treatment for that so that you can get back in order and you don't have another one.
Yeah.
I don't know. The things these people admit to, and then they get mad when people call them out on it. Like she sits there talking about reaction channels. It's like, I'm from the camp that if all of us eventually one day said enough of you, Foodie, and we stopped talking about you, you do realize that you would kind of cease to exist, right? Because no one would have interest in you anymore.
Right. She should be thanking us.
Exactly. You should be thanking us, not like you say, we should be thanking you. Because we keep you relevant.
Well, she has open chat now because her sub count is dropping, her views are dropping. Today, I think she was hitting like 700. FFG had like 3.2 thousand. So I think that's why she opened her, chat up is because she's desperate. She is desperate. And she's probably, being, I don't know, I don't watch her, but I bet you anything she's being goofy and ridiculous. And this is what she does. She acts up for everybody to get the views and to get the comments because it's engagement, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, on Yabba's stream, I don't have the extension on my computer, but when Yabba does reacts to her, she has the extension that still shows the dislikes, and her dislikes are just crazy, like 6-7 times more than the likes on her videos. But it's still engagement. But still, you see that and you're like, yikes.
Yeah, and I noticed yesterday, unfortunately, she was getting more views. She had like 1.2 thousand, I think. And I was like, oh, she does crappy things and people watch her. Like, that's not what we should be doing. Like, watch reaction channels.
Yeah, I mean, some like I'm very grateful to the clip channels and the channels like Orange Cat that have the full videos, but sometimes stuff is popping off, and if you have time, you have to go live and cover it. So, but yeah, leave it to the reaction channels to Raw Dog, or give reaction channels a view, not because give us a view, but to give her less views so that the impact is driven home more.
So the
And there are
chat,
plenty of reaction channels to choose from.
so the chat is saying she's being nice and that she said she's going to do more. Yeah, she's desperate, guys. I think she
Yeah,
knows.
she
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
She said some really horrific things about the passing of FFG's baby, and I'm gonna say that because to me, fur babies are babies, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And and then she also said horrific things about Shannon, and now she's got to make up somehow, right?
Yeah, she's disgusting. To go after a dog, first off, let alone a dog that just passed. Like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, but I mean, look at how she behaved when Pizza's cat. Not that it was the best cared for, but yes, she was there when Timbit got sick and they rushed her to the vet and all that. But after that, instead of staying home with Pete, even if Pete wanted to be alone, just knowing that somebody's in the house, nope, she was off chasing Natter. because she didn't give a fuck. Just like she didn't give a crap about about her grandma, but she'll bring them up to glean sympathy, at her convenience. It's disgusting.
Yeah, somebody said she doesn't even have 1,000 viewers with open chat. Well, that's good. Well, and then I guess she still has mods in there, so they're probably blocking everything. I can't go because I'm blocked. Like it'll
And
be
good, because that lowers her engagement, you
exactly
know?
that. Well, she even was looked because I think she said something today when she did the FFG reaction, and she was talking about. She's like, I have a lot of people blocked, so she was looking at her list. Because again, she was probably planning like, how am I going to? She could see, nope, there was nobody watching. It was like 600 people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she's trying to make the big bucks so she can buy her men. He hasn't done
Yeah.
it in a while. What's it been? 2 weeks, or I guess a week and a half. Got no money, no date.
Right. And with big bucks, speaking of, and I don't know, maybe Monty knows the answer to this. In Montreal, are there a lot of apartments, utilities, and internet included? Because I even calculated it that, let's say they were lucky enough to get two studios at 900 each. Okay, so right there, she's still going to be paying as much as she's paying for the landfill. But then if you add two utilities, two internets, it's going to end up being more. So I don't know how she's thinking that she's going to be saving money.
Yeah, she's not going to be saving money. It's going to be more, and typically utilities aren't included.
And I doubt, I mean, I don't know, maybe some studios are 900. I know that around here, in the DC area, no way. Even if you're living in, a very bad neighborhood, a studio will usually run you at least, 12 to 1300.
You're gonna look at like student quality studio apartments if you're looking in the $900 range, and you're gonna be lucky if you find one that's okay, because as a student you can imagine the type of areas that you would live in just to save some money, because you just don't have it. But if she wants someplace nice,
Right.
there's no way $900 is gonna cut it, plus utilities and other things, your internet, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's just not gonna fly. It's gonna be
Well,
way too much money,
well, where is she going to keep all her boxes in a studio?
right? And then
Exactly.
who's gonna take them out when she's like 9, 10 floors up, or anything like that? Unless it's a triplex.
And who's gonna go fetch her snacks and her Pepsis?
Yep,
Mm-hmm.
exactly.
And poor Pete's like not. No, I'm not even gonna say poor Pete's. He came in I don't know, it was yesterday maybe, and he was like, "Yeah, everybody's in my chat telling me you're a bad friend." And he's like, "I don't listen to him." I'm like, "Pete's, oh my gosh, oh my
He
gosh."
should
I'm like,
start listening to
"Yeah,
them,
you're
Pete's.
going to
Like, my
yeah,
God.
homeless soon. She's going to release you." Even the way she talks, she's like, "I'm just sick of taking care of people." And in front of Pete's, I'm like, "Oh, Pete's, you're gone. You're done." And he's so like oblivious. Like, come on, wake up, man.
Well,
The
you've
minute
seen the
she
way she
finds,
talks, the way she talks to him, all sweet and mom, and like she snapped at him, but she cons him too. She knows just how to talk to him, to calm him down, and he's going to believe her. And everybody else is a troll because she tells him one thing, and even if he does hear her on the live stream bad mouthing him or whatever, she'd be like, Pizza's like, well, she loses her temper and she's a hothead and she doesn't, so he has an excuse, and he's also, his head is buried in the sand, and she's convincing him everything's going to be okay.
the minute she finds someone, let's say she happens to find someone, right, who actually wants a relationship with her. And no, I'm not being bitchy about that. I'm being realistic. She's not long-term material. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. But let's say she finds someone. Does Pete really think that he's gonna be like, they're gonna be like, yeah, sure, he can continue to live with us, and you know, I don't want privacy. Who needs privacy?
And she walks around half naked anyway, so I don't know where that comes from. But I don't know. Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I'll say that Nader is right about, usually if you're going to be seriously involved with somebody, they don't want their partner living with an ex-roommate, especially an ex-fiance of the opposite sex, or any sex, an ex-fiance, someone that you were involved with that long. But on the other hand, it's a very different world nowadays, and she may meet a guy and just like have one conversation and look at Pete's and be like, oh yeah, I'm not worried about him. You know, but Chantal wants her privacy, which she actually has. Pete hardly ever leaves his room. You have to drag him out
Very
to even do
true.
a cooking video. So I don't know what she's complaining about. She just complains to complain.
And now she's not going to go to Turkey anymore, guys. She's going to Dominican Republic. Now, isn't that where Shannon went a few
Yeah, I
years back?
think
Yeah.
so.
Is
Yeah.
that like a dig at Shannon? Because I've never heard her talk about Dominican Republic, and all of a sudden now she's like obsessed with going there.
Well,
Yeah,
she
why does
did.
she want
She
to go
wants
there now?
she wants a Yarmin.
Mm-mm-mm. Oh, is that also? Oh, that's where Alex's hubby's from. She
Yeah.
just needs to go back to Cuba. She didn't explore any, but there's going to be plenty for her to do. Maybe now that she's walking, she can take a bus to Havana and walk around. Yeah, I know, I make jokes, but just go back to Cuba. You're familiar with it.
Yeah, and apparently all the men there wanted her, according to her. Like I don't get why she doesn't go back there. I mean, I do, but yeah,
Didn't she
She
admit
better
she gave
bring
the
a
computer
luggage
for
full of
drugs?
computers.
Yeah,
shit.
she gave her laptop for drugs, I think. Didn't she admit that not too long ago?
Oh, I don't remember. She's said so many things, but I
Yeah,
Yeah.
wouldn't
but
be
she kept on
surprised.
changing the story. But that was one of the she did say that, and then she changed it up. And she kept
Mm-hmm.
on changing it practically every day. It was for something else.
Yeah, she's been talking also a lot about how she's going to get married. She can feel it, guys. She's going to meet a guy and get married. Does she not know what marriage is? Like, oh my gosh.
That's not going to last. Not the
No,
way she is.
of course not. If anybody wants to marry her, it's so they can obviously get money or citizenship or something. Like, come on. It's just, what a sad existence. It really is.
Well, and she's so hyper focused on everything has to be, you know, it's either hot sex or food. That's the extent of a relationship. She can't carry on a conversation. She has no interest of her own. She doesn't really have any interest in anything anybody else does. You know, and yeah, you know, everything's hot and heavy in the beginning and all that. But what do you do when that wears off? She has nothing to offer. There's no concrete foundation to build a friendship on. So she has an unrealistic expectation of what a long-term relationship is, which also confuses me because she was involved with Pete's and BB for so long. And granted, yes, they ended up getting boring and all that stuff, you know, to her, but still, that seems to have just like, you know, flown out of her mind. She's delusional about what a relationship is.
So somebody's asking me, am I the same perfectly imperfect that is also on 10 to life stream? No, because I don't even know what that is. What's 10 to life?
I have
Whoa,
no idea.
I have no idea. Is
Yeah,
that
it's not me. It's not me. I
okay?
don't even know what that is.
And to life, huh? Reminds me of like 23 and 1.
What's that?
It's a prison post prison channel.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
but no, 10 to Life is nothing like that.
Oh, it's a true crime channel. I do like
Okay,
true crime, but
that
I've
Oh.
never
makes
been on
sense.
that one. I'll have to go. Well, guess what? I might be there now
Yeah.
because I like true crime. That's funny. Thank you for giving me a suggestion.
Hmm. Hey, Rose Thorn,
Hello, everybody.
how you
Hi,
doing?
Hi,
Rose.
Hi.
Rose.
How's your move?
I just spent today setting up my new gaming computer, so gaming content is going to be on the way soon. I'm happy about that.
Oh,
Ooh.
nice.
Are
What
we
are
are
your
we
specs?
are we going to be playing WoW again?
Yes, we are.
Oh, please make a tunes with all the characters that we react to.
As long as it's not Alliance.
Of course, Horde. They're all evil. I mean, wait, I didn't mean to say that Horde's evil. You know what I mean.
I'm sorry I'm coming in a bit late because I was setting up the computer, but I was listening to the conversation. But I just wanted to throw this in just as someone that I've been watching Foodie for a long time. She really doesn't. She says she wants love, but she doesn't want love. She wants the men in her life to need her. Because if they need her in some way, they can't escape from her. She's like a spider in that respect. You know, she spins her web and then she catches somebody in her web, and then once they're caught, they can't leave. I mean, notice that every guy in her life needs her. Pete needs her for the money. Nader needs her for the money. There's no man in her life that is there because he wants to be there. It's all about the money.
Right.
Bingo.
But you can be in a, I mean, I would have to, I don't know. I agree with that, but I don't think it's bad to be, married in a long-term relationship or in love with somebody and also need them in your life. Like I've been married 21 years. I need my husband.
Right, absolutely. But she just creates a system of codependency because honestly, the money, that's all she has to offer. So she uses that tool as a hook to basically pull the men in, and once they fall into her honey trap, then they can't get out because they depend completely on her to take care of the bills, take care of the rent, give the money. I mean, Nader has to wait on her to buy his groceries and to give him money. Same thing with Pete. Pete doesn't have a job. Remember in the beginning when Foodie was living with Pete, he had a job, he had money, and she was over on her side saying, "Oh, go ahead, quit your job and just do YouTube with me." And for the longest time, he resisted. But then he, I guess, quit his job or got laid off, and then he didn't get another one. So at that point, he was completely under her thumb. And then, she's lost interest with Pete because she conquered that mountain, and she's always running after things and people that she can't have as part of the appeal. Something she can't have. She doesn't like the word no. She doesn't like to lose.
Yeah.
So she's running. If she wants a man, she's got a man in her own house that he's devoted to her. She's got her pets that are devoted to her. She could care less about any of that. She's always wanting someone and something that she can't have. It's all about what she can't have. You tell her no, she wants it more. She gets it, she gets bored with it. She could care less.
No, you're right, because she even said that last week when she was going on the walks. It was when she was stretching on those stairs, and she was like talking about Dede, because Dede the night before had said you can't walk. It was, I think it around the reaction time when she reacted to Foodie, and she was like, you can't even walk. And then Foodie was like, nobody's going to tell me what I can't do. I'll just do it to prove you I can. And then she did walk that 3 days in a row that week. So I was like, well, maybe more people need to tell her you can't walk.
Well, do it for your health, not to prove it to anyone else. Like, come on, lady, you're 38 and time is not on your side at this age. Things start to happen that you need to get control of now before it's too late, instead of sitting in front of a camera screaming atrocities at people. Go, I don't know, go for more walks. Doesn't she have a gym in that complex of hers?
Yeah, there is.
But the
And
whole
the pool.
eating, the eating and all of that it's all self-destructive. I mean, it's a farce, the whole glow up thing. She doesn't care. She's actually said something to the effect of, why do I want to live to be as if 65 is old? But that's the number she used. Why do I want to live to be 65 eating, quinoa and exercising when I can have a pizza right now? That's pretty much substitute pizza for, lemon Z, a wheelchair, Coca-Cola, food, now any of it, anything to expedite the process, because honestly, I think that she hates herself enough, but she's too much of a coward to do anything in Minecraft. So she's just going to enjoy pleasure, instant gratification with any man she can. Well, right now, hyper focused on Nader, and any substance, including food, that she can, until whatever. She wasn't bothered by what they said at the hospital 2 years ago. She maybe went on a juice cleanse and all that stuff, but she really doesn't care. She does that for the proverbial, for us.
She's delusional, and there
Yeah.
is a mental illness with delusion. What's it called when you have that? Oh, grandeur, illusions of grandeur, right? What is it called?
Yeah, delusions of grandeur.
Yes, she probably, because she is delusional. She She even with the whole weighing herself, and it is impossible to lose 8 pounds in 2 days. Number one, even if you starved yourself, you can't lose 8 pounds in 2 days. Number two, we see what she's eating. But in her, like, she's really thinking this. I truly think she really thinks she's losing weight, instead of, like, most of us would probably be like, I think my scale's broken, right? If I got on my scale after one day and it was a 4 pound difference, I
Right.
I'd be like, oh well, my scale's broken, or maybe something's going on. That's not right. But she
Right.
doesn't do that. She's thinking, and I really truly do think she thinks she's losing weight. I really do.
Oh, I think that she actually thinks, because she uses the Samsung, the phone, as a mirror. I think that she really thinks that she looks like she looks. She's made jokes about the filters and whatnot, but I really think that she thinks that she looks like the filters, and she's still huge. But she doesn't. I don't think that she really knows what she looks like, or I think she does, and she like will catch a glimpse and look away. She doesn't want to face it. But you
I think
can
that's why she
lose.
was uncomfortable, MCM, at the mall, because guess what the mall has? Mirrors everywhere.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah. And I don't know if you've noticed, but when they're doing their cooking videos together and Pizza's there, she looks very, her face changes. She gets kind of pissy when she notices she's keeping an eye, not on what he's doing, but on where his camera is. And if his camera's catching a glimpse of her, she don't like that. Because she is aware that there's a difference in what his camera shows and what her camera shows.
yeah. It's reality versus not reality.
Yeah. But even if she were to lose, I don't know, let's say for somebody her size, 4 pounds or whatever, most of that would be water weight. You can fluctuate. I am in reasonable shape. I'm 5'1", and I fluctuate between like 112 and 116. It depends on the day, like, and from day to night. But in her
Well,
case,
day to night.
that's so minimal. But her scale is definitely broken. She's every bit of I would say 430 to 450.
Yeah, it's just my point is, it's just the delusion, all of it,
Yeah.
just the delusion of it all. And then and again, I know maybe a lot of it is just being on. She streams all the time. That's all she does, is talking to. She's basically talking to a phone, is what nobody's responding back to her. They're typing it, but they're not hearing her. She's not hearing them. She's talking to a phone most of the day. I think it's just bad for your psyche. I she's making fun of FFG, like, oh, you're poor. FFG has a job besides YouTube. She has her own job. She does YouTube. She's not, and like Monty, the same thing. Like, you guys are not always on streaming. She's always on.
Hi, everyone.
Hey,
Hello.
Hi.
Hi, Farida.
How's everybody doing?
good. How did
Good.
Very good.
Good.
Did I miss much in the Foodie Beauty universe? Because I know she does so many things all day. I'm sure so much has transpired while I was gone.
Well, there was a whole thing with her reacting to FFG and FFG reacting to her that was
Oh,
very.
I saw that. I didn't see all of it because I'm the type of person, I get angry. I can't keep going. I don't know if that's normal. I always think, like, what's wrong with you? Just keep, but I get too angry. Just especially the part where she was saying that in regards to Chantal, or excuse me, in regards to Shannon. Remember, she was saying, "Well, I didn't say her name." Like, every single person, everybody knew you were talking about Shannon, excuse me, because I mean, come on, who else did a reaction channel that was your friend? I mean, how many friends do you even have anyway? That really pissed me off.
Yeah, and that reaction was, I was saying earlier, it was yeah, you see the difference between Foodie and FFG. Like, FFG goes after her, and she is like on point, and she is articulate, and she is expressing herself. And then there's Foodie Beauty. She's obsessed. She's dumb. She's fat. She's stupid.
Yeah, that's and I've
Mm-hmm.
always said that
Yeah.
she does not know exactly. She's horrible at. You remember when Dede, she would talk all this crap about them, and then as soon as I was so embarrassed for her, it was so cringe. And think Monty had it up when she's like, "Do you have anything to say?" And she was like, "No," and then she blamed being high that she couldn't really say anything, or like it was just so embarrassing how much she was speaking and saying all this stuff and being a tough person.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
got 3 lines for Nader: broccoli head, and let me see, with what's her face, the Donald Trump comb over. And you know what? Look, I can't stand Donald Trump, but leave his fucking hair out of it. Poor Donald. He didn't deserve
Donald's
to be
got enough
associated
going
with
on.
Foodie.
Listen,
Yeah,
MCM, I was watching you. Was it today or yesterday? Everything you said, I'm like, oh my God, yes. That's like, somebody feels the exact same way you do. You're like, yes, you go, girl.
thank you.
Oh my gosh. And then she was attacking FFG for the $10,000 donation.
Oh,
She
wow.
was so angry about it. And then FFG at one point was like, and Chantal, how about you? You've been on the YouTube for how many years? And you've never done a stream where you donated. And Foodie Beauty, swear to God, she said,
Very true.
why would I donate $10,000? I'm not
Right?
giving
I
it.
heard
Yeah.
that. I heard
She
that.
I
said,
mean,
I was
why
like,
would
she
I do
scammed
that?
her way out of that small, $500
Yep,
donation or
she
whatever.
did. She's like, why would I do that? She's, I'm not giving my money away. That's
So
what she said. Unless
you
you're
give it
Nader.
away to Cracky all the
Yeah.
time.
Oh, exactly. She donates to these men so they could, they have to get near her to smell, the clothes that she wears for 10 or 14 days in a row. I mean,
Oh, I just realized. Yes, actually, she is donating to the poor when you think about it.
Yeah.
You know what the most
Stupid
thing
jerk.
out of I just want to say, like, I don't know if she responded to this, I don't remember, but the thing that was so that, because I didn't know the backstory, she apparently, which I'm sure you guys already know this, she saw Shannon, was it a month ago in July? Like, she even sent her a message saying, "I miss you," or something like that, and she saw her. So how was it that you were okay then? I know FFG also did address that, but I don't know what she responded. How was it that you were okay then, and then all of a sudden you were not okay when she needed you? That just goes to show that you were just lazy and it was all about yourself, and you don't want to get off your ass and go see your friend of 23 years to comfort her or even pick up the phone. And like FFG said, she was streaming. She said, "Oh, I was busy." She was actually streaming when this was happening. She wasn't busy. What busy with what? What does she do all day? Nothing.
Yeah, nothing. But speaking of donations and stuff, I'm gonna have to look it up. I don't know if Monty knows, because Monty knows everything. I'm actually soon to. I haven't approved it yet, but I'm going to be monetized soon. And for my first month, I want to pick a charity, but I want whatever super chats, whatever, to go directly, with the link connected to YouTube. I know that there's a way to do it. I want it to go directly to the thing. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about, Monty?
Yeah, there's a way to do it in your studio, but you make sure you do it days before, because it does take some time for the connection to be made and accepted. So it's not hard or anything. It's rather simple.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can just even Google it. There's YouTube videos about having any super chats or anything like that going directly to the charity of your choice.
Yeah, but she was really angry about that $10,000. And then I think for Nader, she was like, she started laughing. She goes, "Well, I want to see receipts. Huh? You want to go in?" And then she stopped. It was, again, that was a play for Nader. She's like, "I want to see receipts." Well, first off, if you're watching FFG, you see the passion she has for this dog and how much she loved this dog and how important this dog was to her. And she obviously is an animal lover. You really think she's going to be scamming people? That's not FFG's thing. Like, come on, let's call a spade here. The reason we question Nader is because he is a grifter. Chantal, you've even said it. You've even said it. We all know it. That's why. And
Oh,
plus, yeah, two different
while
things.
while you're at it, can I just quickly, and then you can continue. Sorry.
No,
Yes,
I'm
by the
done.
way, since you want to bring it up, Foodie, Natter, $184.98 is what you still owe.
Wow.
Uh, yeah, so she's going to go after FFG instead. Yeah, she's just.
Oh wait, what is that? I'm lost. Maybe I did. He owes for what? Maybe I'm out of it. Or
The cancer charity stream that he ran on, I believe it was June 23rd.
oh yeah, he didn't. He didn't. He was saying like he misled everybody. I remember, saying
Yeah,
that he donated.
yeah.
I didn't know if that was specifically to that.
Oh yeah, that whole thing was a scam.
Oh yeah, he's and like I just want to say perfectly imperfect, like you were saying, just the comparison between FFG and Chantal. It's very clear just because there's just so many indications that how Chantal, it's so easy to see her true colors. She already shown who she is a long time ago, and she continues to go lower and lower, even when we all think, oh my god, this is what else could she do. She keeps going lower, like with the animal thing, for instance. I mean, obviously FFG loves her pets, and you could see it, right? Well, Chantal, you can't say the same, because first of all, how many times did she say she wants to, when she was with Nader, she wanted to, remember, she wanted to get rid of the pets because she wants to go travel or whatever it was. I know it was also she wanted to be with him, and he wasn't really, he doesn't like pets or something like that, or he doesn't like cats. And then she also how many times did she not say nice things and wanted to get rid of the pets? And then the last thing about her putting them down when they get sick. Who talks like that? I mean, you don't
Right?
talk.
It's sickening.
It's like, if your pet, even if, okay, we all know that time's gonna come, right, when you have a dog or a cat or whatever, but why would you even say that? Why you wouldn't, if you really have passion and you love your pets, you wouldn't even think it. You wouldn't even want to say it because it's too painful to even say that, right? She has no problem. And then I remember when she said that she's tired of people needy. What's his name is needy, and the cats were needy also. Remember when she had that thing? She was
Yeah.
just raging. Like, of course she doesn't really care. It's all about Chantal. She just cares about herself.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's
Yeah,
her.
I mean, if something happened and I were to lose my home or whatever, it's not ideal, but I'll be damned if I'm giving. I will take a bunch of her cardboard boxes after I fumigate them, build a house on the street, and live with my dog on the street. I am not letting go of my damn dog, until I get situated or whatever. It's yeah, I've never heard anything like that. It's just and the one thing I did say last night, I am absolutely no Roman fan, but even Roman tried to help and help her take that cat to the vet. And the extent of what's wrong with BBJ, we don't really know, because he talks in half truths and half information. But very sick, I suspect, because I was helping take care of my housemate's cat who was in kidney failure. I think that's one of her problems. That cat needed to go 6 months ago for a follow-up to possibly be on medication or something, and she just doesn't care. She just doesn't care. She's just waiting it out, and that's extremely cruel. And those cats love her. That's what's so heartbreaking about it,
Well,
because
because
they don't know any different.
yeah, and I've heard her say many. How old is BBJ? 19.
19.
And she's always like, "Well, he's 19, guys. Like, he lived long." I oh yeah, you're right. He's 19, but don't you want him to be 20? Don't you want to be 21? Like, I get that he's 19. It's almost like, because he's 19, it's not worth the time or the effort. She's like, he's 19. Like, why would I do that?
It's just like how she treats Pete's. She'll tag him along. Why? Because she needs his credit to get, and also, he gets her stuff. She's too lazy. She's lazy as hell. How she Pete's, or that's what.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing with Pete's. Once she, let's just say he no longer can be there for her. Let's just say she ruins his credit. She does not care at all. She will not care. The same thing with the cats. I mean, she's only whoever serves her a purpose. Once she's done with them, it's like she doesn't care, And then I know she was trying to put on a show, and I don't know if you guys like saw how, I don't know, was it yesterday? With the cat, and like I think she puts it on extra after she said that, just thinking like, oh, and then she put a thumbnail of the cat just to try to get like views. It's not going to
Mm-hmm.
help you, Foodie. You are a vile,
Yeah.
disgusting person, and if I was your friend, I would never forgive you either, because all of us, we don't know Shannon, right? We just know she's a ride or die. But the thing that disgusted me, that I will just forever just hate this woman. And I say that word hate is, I don't even like to say that word, because it's, it's hard, right? It's you're brought up not to say hate is just really strong, blah blah blah. But this woman, like, your friend is sitting there in a dire mental fragile state, right? You could have said something, who, God forbid, that could have sent her over the edge to something terrible. I mean, you don't know what would have, those words, her outing her like that. How, even if you're mad at your friend, how could you even do that just to any human being, right? To say something that they're going to hear it, and that could really send them, that's it. That could have been like the straw that broke the camel's back, and that could have been just completely just the catastrophe. You know what I mean? Like, she's disgusting. She's horrible, vile. I can keep going on and on, but we don't have enough time.
And well, also she uses Pete for once in a while when she's, bored or lonely, she'll use him to keep her company and all that. But well, two things that she said that really point me to that, her sociopathy and all that. Back last summer, because she loves talking into the camera, just screaming into the void to these beezers that are all nothing but ones and zeros. And I said that before. And then she was driving home from Nanners, crying. And actually, it was in the stream where Yaba made that song where Chantal was crying and saying, I just want to bees and whatnot. But before she said that, she's like, I hate people. I just don't want to be around anyone. I hate people. The only people I want to be around is you guys, because you're not really real. And that really hit me. That hit me different, because that was the truth. And also with the whole hospitalization thing the other day, yesterday, whatever, she was turning it again. It's all about her. She doesn't understand how mental illness, real mental illness, she's like, I can't even bring myself to go to the psych ward, like it's some kind of like prize or whatever. No, like when you need help, and if you are lucky enough to have that self-preservation in you and your self-awareness to be scared by yourself, you go. I've been there. 20 years ago, I went to a crisis center, and then I was in a program for a month. But she's acting like it's checking into a resort in Cuba or something.
Because she's a coward. She's a coward. I'm going to call it out. Farida, you said you hate her. I don't hate her. I don't know her. I don't respect her at all. Every single one of you on this panel, I respect you. We can talk. I can see and hear that you have feelings, that you are good people. I don't respect her at all. And that's what I don't hate. I'm not a hater. I don't respect you. And yeah, I'm going to call you out on it. That's why I'm here, because I don't respect you. Bottom line.
Yeah, I think having absolutely no respect for somebody is actually more profound than hating them. But you know what? I kind of hate her a little bit too. I don't know her, but
okay, you know what? I hate her and I don't respect her.
Right. Yeah, right. Both.
I would say I don't respect her either. There's nothing to respect. I'm sorry. Respect is something that's earned, right? Like,
amen.
It's not just something that you give.
She doesn't respect herself. How can we respect her? She doesn't even respect herself.
I have a question for Foodie. So she's been on a trip lately of going out to the reaction channels. My question for Foodie is this, because I know she watches these panels. Foodie, I know you're listening and you're watching because you got nothing else to do. My question for you is very simple. You're going after the reaction channels, but there's not a single reaction channel that has done something physically to you the way that you claim Nader has done to you. So why aren't you going after his channel? Why aren't you right? Why aren't 100% the cause of problems? Why aren't you going after the one person who has done what you claim physical harm to you? Why haven't you done anything to him? Everything you do when you do a live stream or a community post about Nader, you are very quick to dirty delete. That suggests that you're protecting him, aren't you? It's very obvious that you're protecting him. Why are you protecting this person who has done physical harm to you, and you're going after the reaction channels who have never physically harmed you? That's kind of messed up.
So true. Yeah.
It is. And that's the reason I don't respect her, because her actions don't match her words. So she says like, well, I can't forgive Shannon. This is what she did. She created a reaction channel. Well, then Foodie, then why can you forgive Nader? Because you have many times. you're going to say not now, but you did. I mean, I'm telling you, there's a video, and I'm not a YouTuber, guys. I don't know how to do any of this stuff, but somebody should find that video of him and of her in May or June, and her chat was asking her, how could you forgive him? This is when they became friends again. How can you forgive him? This is what he did to you. And she said, because I have empathy. I'm a forgiving
Oh,
person. I
yes,
can move
Oh
Uh-huh.
on.
God.
And
lady.
then fast forward to 2 months later, where she's saying, I can't move on. I can't forgive her. She hurt me too bad. Your actions don't match your words. They just don't. It can't be. That's not it. It can't be.
Like
Right.
she goes
I
after
agree.
for instance garlic bread. Okay, I don't know if you guys ever watch his he's never said like in a name calling. He's literally just calls her out what she does. For instance, the driving, she drives erratically, horribly. Anybody would be appalled watching how she drives, and we've seen it, right? She's crazy, and that could obviously hurt somebody. That could be something fatal. This woman goes after him, that he bullies her, and she obviously, and as usual, her tactic is to name call, just like she does with Monty. Same thing. He didn't even say anything about her. So why is it you don't do that with Nader, but you're just like Rose Thorn said, you're quick to do that with the reaction channels, and they're bullies, they're this. Well, what about him? What he's done to you? You want exactly what you said. You went back to him so many times. Why is it Shannon, a friend of 23 years, you couldn't go back? You couldn't forgive her.
Because Shannon cannot offer her, what he does.
You mean the
And,
green
and
tea, the
also,
green
she's a
tea?
misogynistic woman. She hates women.
Yeah.
So I don't think that she was capable, even back in the day. She may have been able to hide it better, because I did a couple of live streams. We know that Todd McKinley did the more of a deep dive into the psychology of Chantal, but Mr. Snowflake is also doing a series. And if you look at the videos during the BB era, a lot of the same behaviors. She was the same person then, but everybody was like, rooting her on, and she was sticking more, kind of, sort of, to the diet plans, and but she, the inner Chantal would rear its ugly head. And now it's just the mask has been off for a year, and she's always been this person. She just doesn't, care at all to hide it.
And can we talk about how I guess this happened yesterday? I didn't watch the whole stream yesterday of her going after Shannon because I couldn't. It was just too much for me. But I was watching FFG reacting to it, and Foodie basically said that Shannon did this for attention and was gaslighting her for attention. And FFG called her out. And then today, when she was reacting to FFG, God, this is like running around circles. She was like, tried to walk back on that. She's like, well, that's not what I meant. No, that's what you said. You basically said about Shannon that she was making this up and gaslighting you to get attention. That's basically what you said. That's disgusting, right? That's disgusting. But then you realize, okay, well, this is the same girl who faked a suicide attempt to get back at her mom, right? So I guess in her brain, that's how it works. If you if you do that, then you're just doing it for attention because that's her reality, right? So maybe it says more about her. I don't know.
It says everything about her, just the way how she thinks, her mind works. Everybody's doing everything for attention because that's exactly what she's doing.
Yeah.
Anything and everything she does on her channel is for attention. She's manipulative. And that's it, yeah. Oh, Martha is calling me. I'll be right back.
Martha's supervising.
Yeah.
I know I've said this so many times, so people got bored of me when I was when I come on here, but I truly do believe this, that one day she's gonna be sitting there old, alone, no YouTube channel, no Pete's, no mom, no nobody, and because anyway she doesn't have any friends anyway, and I think that then she will start, she's going to realize, maybe, just maybe, she will start to think about her ugly, just unfulfilled life and how she lived it. Maybe she'll, think, oh, why isn't nobody here for me? And karma's going to be the biggest bitch to, you know, um to her, because everything she's ever done to everybody, all this vile things, her actions, it's going to come back to really hit her hard.
I don't know. I actually picture her, if she gets old. She may, although Life by Jen is not old. She's about 10 years older than Chantal, and her health is supposedly getting worse. But I can actually see Chantal, say she gets old, in that same position, bedridden on her deathbed or whatever. She's going to probably, I'm going to say, be like, why isn't anybody here after everything I've done? And, screw them and all this stuff. I think that she's going to be bitter to the very end, because another content creator that we all know, I'm not going to mention the name, told a story on a live stream about a relative of hers who was very much like Chantal, in the throes of addiction and just being crazy, and had the psychological problems and whatnot. And it didn't end well. They never changed. And there are, unfortunately, some people that do not and cannot change. And I truly believe that she's one of them.
I call Foodie a victim for pay, victim for views. She wants to be a victim of something, anything, just for the views, just for the pay. She's not a real victim of anything.
So, Rose, do you think then, without YouTube, if YouTube was not a factor, do you think that she would be able to change if nobody was looking at her, viewing her?
I think, like, I went back through Foodie's content like 4 or 5 years ago. And if you watch her content from 4 or 5 years ago, she was a different person. She wasn't exaggerated as she is now. I think a lot of things she does on her channel, she's done for the sake of money, for monetization, and she caters to many different fetish groups on her channel. I mean, if you pick her content apart and you look at it, if you know about the different fetish groups, you recognize the different fetish groups that she's trying to cater to, because fetish groups do pay well. I'm pretty much certain that she's getting money on her channel and off her channel through PayPal and whatnot to cater to those different fetishes, such as the feeder fetish, such as the gainer fetish, the immobilizers, the people that are into messes, all that stuff, all of it. She's catering to different fetish groups for the sake of pay.
Yeah, I still think that she's always been this way. It's just now that everybody's looking, I think that the mask has come off. But I do see your point.
No, I agree. I think she's actually. It would be interesting for like a psychiatrist or a psychologist to study her, or a scientist, because I think she like, you're right, Rose. The longer she's been on YouTube, the worse she's gotten, and I think it's because she's constantly streaming. She's not interacting with family, with friends. She's, like, I look at my own life. I go visit my mom. I go, visit family. I go out with friends. We go out to restaurants and dinner, go to parties. Like, that's so good for our soul to get out there and to interact with people. She's not doing that. And I think, and in fact, not only is she not doing it, her whole world is her. She's on the phone talking about herself the entire time. So you become almost like tunnel vision, where it's just you and you're talking to a phone and there's nobody else matters but you and that phone and that audience. And I think that is what happened to her. I think her choosing to be on the internet all the time is what has led to her demise. I think she probably was a crappy person to begin with. I think we see there's deficits. But I think this line of work for her was the worst thing she could have done. The worst.
Oh yeah, it's the worst thing that ever happened to her and us, quite frankly.
Yeah, that's I agree 100%, perfectly imperfect, just because this amplified. She was already, how she grew up. She always said that her mom gave her everything. She was a spoiled brat. So imagine that type of personality. And then she's said so many times to us, she obviously, she doesn't hide it. She says, oh, I'm needy. So imagine somebody like that going, online, and everybody there, you keep, right, she keeps taking away, like, anybody in her chat she doesn't like, boom, you're blocked. Any little, like, if somebody just disagrees with her, even just their opinion, she becomes very smug and very rude to them. And I don't know why these people, I mean, I really want to know what type of, what kind of people are these that, why would you allow yourself to pay? I would rather drive on the freeway, open up the windows and throw all that cash away, like flying out the window, than give her a penny. I mean, I don't know. These people just, is it supporting her? Is it because I do know people are out there, just they like to see, it's a train wreck. It's an entertainment, right? They don't care. Like somebody was saying one time in the chat that if she collapsed, they would be videoing, recording it. Like it's nothing because they care. Like I just wonder, is that what it is just entertainment? Are there actually people that, do they care that they're paying to be her members, to be abused by her?
Yeah, I think that those are good points. I don't know. I can't figure her chat out. I think there's a lot of trolly chats that maybe, from what I've heard, a lot of them stay because they've kind of formed a community. So they like that community. Like I saw somebody today in the chat when I was watching FFG, I think, and she had her chat up, and somebody was saying, somebody one of her VIBs made a joke, and somebody else said, "You better be quiet, you're going to get blocked." So they know how they have to toe the line. But did you ever see when she's driving how her chat goes on, like after her, and then because she's driving, so she can't see.
Oh
And then
yes,
yeah,
yes, you're right, absolutely. It's
Or
funny
when
how,
she
yeah.
goes to take a shower or
yeah,
anything, when she's not looking, that's when it goes crazy. They're like, okay, troll mode activated. And then when she gets back, you can see the chat like slow to a crawl.
yeah. It's almost like a game to them. Like, let's see if we can get little comments in and little digs, but without getting blocked. I don't get it, but to each their own.
It's pathetic. I mean, it really is. Well, I like, because the fact that I wonder if she must know that, does she ever think about it? Like she must know these people, like she's blocking them. Anybody that doesn't, give her, you know what I'm saying? Like those few people that you hear their names over and over again, they're probably the only very few 3 or 4 loyalists that are like, complimenting her, or like let's just say she talks bad about Shannon, like yeah, she's this, she's that, like, I just wonder, she must know this is all, it's because you're silencing them. They can't really say what they want. Most of them don't agree with you, but they don't want to be blocked. But what kind of stupid, why would I want to be a member where I can't say something, like I can't say my true feelings, or it's not like they're rude. Like let's just say they don't agree with her about whatever it is, or like she's rude, she's very rude to them. I'm like, why would you pay to be abused? It's sick.
She
It's
even
almost like a Stockholm syndrome of sorts.
Yeah. She
Oh
even
yes.
dictates where they can go. Like like with Skinny Queen, she got mad at her because she came on Monty's panel. She didn't say anything bad. She just recently got mad at somebody else for going to Nader's channel. Like, you're policing this? I can't believe it. It's insane. It is. It's like a cult.
But she said just today or yesterday, she's like, oh, well, everybody has the right to their opinion. Yeah, right. Okay. Couldn't tell.
Well, they're
Yeah.
not allowed to their opinion if they're in her chat. She won't allow it because she has to protect her mental health.
And then all this, it's just funny, like all this talk about, first of all, her chat's dwindling, her views and everything. So I think all this talk about moving and it's just a way of like hyping up, views, and, oh, I'm moving, let's talk about, the move and 2 apartments and all this and that. It's all, how many times has she sat there and she's going to do that, whatever that schedule was, and nobody even like goes after her. Maybe they'll ask, I don't even know what has she said to them. Nobody confronted her like, hey, what happened to your deleted, remember she put up a schedule, I don't know what she called it, like where she was going to start waking up at 6 and doing all this like a healthy lifestyle, whatever the hell it was. What happened to that? She just, it's all, oh, and then even the fashion line, like You a fashion line? You dress like who was saying a grandmother in church, like an old grandma in church that
The
dressed.
mean grandma in church. I think it was Doe
Oh,
Eyed Cookie said
yes,
that. The
yes,
mean
yes.
grandma in church. Yeah.
It's like, where did that come from? I mean, like I said, she just constantly talks about things, and I mean, she just throws all this. Everybody knows when she says all this crap. Everybody knows nothing's gonna happen. It's just all just a way of, like, grabbing people's attention for a little bit. But people have caught on. Like, if they didn't, in the beginning, like, oh yeah, but when you start to become, this is like just, you know, people are onto your games. People know what you're doing. So it's not, nobody is gonna come and watch you anymore, like, because they know it's all BS. We've heard it before. You want to do this, you want to do that. You're gonna start, all this, like, remember the stamps? What was it, that something like that? She was gonna give people. What, didn't they pay already for the stamps? Something about stamps or postcards? Postcards. I don't know.
The postcard tier.
Oh yeah, yeah. What was that about? Like postcards from places, or what was
Yeah,
it?
that she would visit like when she went on trips. So the first one was supposed to be local at least, and she hasn't done anything.
And they're still
Has that
paying.
dingbat Lambo ever gotten her now very stale coffee yet?
No,
No.
she opened that she opened the coffee and used some of it, and she broke the magnet.
Oh my God.
But people paid for. I remember because somebody mentioned something like, I think people actually paid for the postcards, if I'm not mistaken.
They still are.
Yeah.
They still are. That's why it's like, I can't with these people. It has been now how many 6 months it has been, and you are still paying for a postcard club, and you have yet to receive one postcard.
Oh
You need,
God.
yeah, I want to meet these people because I have a bridge to sell them.
I sometimes I honestly think the same, but then we look at, what is his name, S Jam, like, I don't want to say much and be mean, but I'm like, oh, okay, so this is a typical Beezer. Okay, I get it now.
I
Yeah,
think S Jam is kind of harmless. And actually, what I really love about S Jam is he's doing everything that Chantal says that she was going to do, like the sleep stream, even though I know you're not supposed to, that I understand, do that on YouTube. I thought it was great. I was like, and of course, Chantal raged about it. But did she do a sleep stream like, I'm going to show you? Nope. She just sat and raged and got, blazed and confused as usual.
and now she wants to write a book.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah, about Nader, of course. But she's not going to call him Nader. She's going to call him Dom, I think.
Oh God.
Jeez. But see, here's the thing. She brought this predator onto the platform. We all know that. And Dede is also a sicko. She sought this out. She didn't know Nader before. They're gonna stick to that story, whatever. But the one of my main problems, and one of their main problems, is because we'll be fine, but they all know that they have to keep talking about each other. This is never going to end until someone is in jail or something happens to them in Minecraft, because without this constant circling the drain, talking about each other, raging about each other, they all watch each other's content religiously. Without them doing that, there is no content. Their channels are done. Maybe a few people will still watch, not, or pretend to cook, but not really. But at least he's actively doing something. Even Pete's, if he like took his channel seriously, yeah, he's boring. I don't care about his Starship Enterprise stuff or his games, but his rages are entertaining. Pete is the only one that's not obsessed with anybody and could actually work on his channel and do something. The other three, including Dede, they got nothing without each other, and so they've trapped themselves into this. So I don't know what's going to happen. It's interesting to see how long can this go on. It's already been a year and 4 months or something. I don't know. It's
The
quite
funny,
a sociological study.
yeah, and the funny thing is, though, if she wrote a book, I think she could actually sell. She just.
Yeah,
So
I
I'm
agree.
not laughing at the book idea. I think it would be smart. I'm laughing because we all know it's never going to happen.
Yes, I agree.
And also, Foodie, don't write, if you're going to write a book, don't write about Nader. Really, what I'd like to see Foodie write is a self-reflection book, like about being on YouTube. I think that would be like, here's where I started. This is how I got here. Now she's never going to do it, but that's the kind of book I think could even go even past her audience, you know, because if you saw her on a cover as big as she is saying like, you know, YouTube celebrity, people be like, oh, how did that happen? You know what I mean? But it's never going to happen.
How to be a beezer.
How to be a beezer. Yeah, that's better than a natter thing, right?
Oh yeah, but you're right. I do agree. Like her, you know how she that's how she kind of attracted audience with her crazy stories. Remember with, you know, whether they were fabricated or not, they were just insane. Remember the stories like before Nader, when she was a little bit more whatever, like Rose Thorn was saying, she wasn't as what's the right, you know, like she wasn't exaggerated, if you will, or you know, she was just different. But I think, yeah, she could, like, you know, I think they would like to have something like that, her beezers especially, like it would. But we, like, exactly what you said, we're laughing because we know she just, you know, she can't even wash her hands or wipe her ass.
I
Right.
know.
How
And
could she
somebody
write anything?
somebody in the chat saying like, oh well, you know, she should do like a reality TV show. Here's my thing. I personally think she has the personality for that. I think she'd be entertaining. Here's the problem with Foodie though, because she even said today, oh, I would love my own show. She would never be able to do it because she doesn't listen to anybody. When you do those shows, you have contracts you sign, there's rules you have to follow. She doesn't do that, so she would automatically
Yeah.
not, she wouldn't last a week. They'd be like, we're done with you. She wouldn't show up when she was supposed to. You know what I mean? Like, that's the problem with that idea. I
She
Well,
think
would
this
be the
is a
cast
reality show,
member
really.
that's only there just to cause the drama.
yeah.
But this kind of is a reality show. But I have a question for Rose Thorn.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, let me see, how can I word this? We all are aware of what happened in the Sam's Bar Lounge, you know, videos and all that with Dede, and we've all seen her behavior subsequently and how she's going to stand by her man. Aside from the, you know, or including the dom sub, and I use those terms loosely with them. Where does Dede fit in with this? Like, why is she? I know that Nader's not her first rodeo. She's been abused by men before. I know that she's one of those kind of submissives. But what is her role in this? Why is she so proud of this? What is going on with her?
Man, that's a multi-layer question because I
I'm
can go
sorry.
different
Yeah,
ways.
I'm
No, no,
sorry.
it just okay. So, I mean, there's the obvious layer where Nader is with Dede for the benefit of her condo. It's the same reason why he's around Chantal. She offers the benefit of her money. Nader is the kind of guy, he's not around women looking for love. He doesn't care about love. He cares
Right.
about finding people that have a benefit that benefits him. So he's going to gravitate towards a woman that has some sort of benefit that he can benefit from. And he's got the best of both worlds. He's got one woman that he can live with. He can live in her house, rent and bill free. He's got another woman that will give him money and pay for his groceries. So he's pulled in these women that benefit him. So there's that layer. As far as him being a dom, and you're right, I use that term very loosely because he's not a dom. He is a dime store dom. He's a fake dom that
Mm-hmm.
watched a few adult movies and decided that he was a dom. Maybe there's some sort of kinky relationship between he and Dede. Maybe Dede's okay with him being a swinger because she has to be. Same thing with Chantal. Chantal is okay with Nader being with Dede because she has to be. Neither woman likes the other, but they have to put up with it if they want to be Nader. God knows why they want to be around Nader because he brings nothing to the table as far as what benefits them. But maybe Natter's got Dede completely snowed over, thinking, "Oh, this is what you should do, being my sub, and you can be my sub." Same thing with Chantal. "Oh, you're my sub. This is what you're supposed to do." I watched the Sam's Bar Lounge videos, and I saw many things that I watched the videos 2 and 3 times, and I'm like, this really looks off. This really looks strange. This looks like orchestrated role play in front of a camera for somebody. If you watch it the first time, it looks abusive as hell. It's very upsetting. but then you watch it again and you're like, you really start noticing things that look off. Like Dede not reacting to the supposed punch that happened to her face. Like, you punched me in the face. If you get punched in the face, you're not saying that right away. You're reacting, you're screaming, you're crying.
Mm-hmm.
That looked weird to me. And then other parts that I noticed, I don't know if anybody else picked this up, but in a couple of videos, she said the word daddy. I feel that daddy was her word for Nader, but then when she
Mm-hmm.
used the word father, the role play immediately stopped, like a dead stop. If he was in a true rage, would he be able to stop? It just seemed like that might have been a stop word, a code word to stop the play, because it immediately
Yeah.
stopped. He didn't go any further.
Now, how did he hurt his hand? Because he showed like the blood on his hand. He cut his hand on something,
You
supposedly, or maybe a tooth or something.
I think that this is just, again, my observation, my opinion, watching these videos from my perspective. I think that this may seem weird to some people that may not know about the lifestyle. During normal play like that, one person takes one role, another person takes another role, and they stay within those roles the entire time. From my perspective only, it looked like they were switching off back and forth during that last video. Like they're both switches. I don't think either one is either dom or sub completely. I think they're both switches. They
Mm-hmm.
alternate between dom and sub, and during that video they were both switching off, and I think that's where everything got a bit confused. Dede started off in the dom role. She kept poking at him purposely, using the word coward. She kept using that word over and over, coward, like really using that word to poke at him. She wanted him to get in a certain state of mind. Notice that during that video, he said to whoever it was he was talking to, she worked hard to get me to this state. A very strange thing to say. Like, she worked hard
Yeah.
for this. He said that. She worked hard for this. Well, what do you mean she worked hard for that? What do you mean?
I mean, with all well, it's my opinion. I do not think whatsoever, just my opinion of, I do not think it was whatsoever. I'm not in that lifestyle. It's just that it did not seem at all like some sort of like a role play, or dom sub whatever. Because even the people we had somebody on that is and I don't even know the right terminology, the right words, where she said that she did not think it was nothing that I don't know if you guys remember, or I don't think you guys were on this panel, maybe you just watched it, but she didn't think that it was anything that was indicative of, like, this is like a role play, or this is just like, and he's generally crazy anyways, like even in his live stream when he cooks, or you could just see his temper, or I think she was just talking to that person on the phone, and I don't know, everything about it did not seem like, okay, let's stop now, and I'm gonna, it just, he was simply being a monster. That's what I saw, just my opinion. But to me it didn't seem like he was role playing, and she was, and
Yeah. See, I
Yeah.
kind of agree with both of you. I think that he is sadistic. He's not a dom. He's a sadist.
Well,
But also, there is something in the dom sub realm where a sub will get sassy and talk back. They're in brat mode. I think that she was not just in brat mode, because that's really it was a bit much. So I
Oh yeah,
think it's
that's
kind
what
of
the
like a
lady
mix
said.
of,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm so sorry to mean to. I'm just saying, when you said the word brat mode, that's exactly what that she was on here. She said that word, that because she was also like a brat, something or whatever. She talked about certain things, and but she said like none of it seemed, all she heard all of it. It wasn't anything that it seemed like it was
can I just
Yeah.
ask this? But when I was watching it, before I finished, I think that if there was some sort of back and forth role play going on. But I think that because they were switching off back and forth to each other, like she was poking at him, he was letting her get away with it. Because they were switching off like that, I think that it was role play that was taken too far, because there was no one person doing one definite role and sticking with it. There wasn't another person doing one certain role and sticking with it, because they were switching off, back and forth, and it just went too far. And that's
Well, I think because he's very angry and abusive
Yeah,
and a sadist, and he loses control. He doesn't
yeah.
have the control or self-discipline to be a proper dom, which is one of the reasons why he's not a dom. He's just a straight up, sadist jackass.
I mean, you could see how he is, even when remember when he lunged at her, because she interrupted. He doesn't even let her get a word in edgewise. You could just see that he has a temper. But I think, the reason why Chantal or Dede, why they do put up with this kind of crap, or because they've never met a normal guy. They don't know what a normal relationship is. Dede has said that she's been in other bad relationships. I forgot where we heard this, but that she had other relationships that were, abusive or things like that. And they don't know how it's supposed to be, how a man is supposed to treat you. They don't know. You know what I'm saying? They've never been in a normal relationship with somebody that's supposed to treat a woman right and not, treat her like dirt and talk to her that way and physically, assault her, whatever, they think this is normal.
Yeah, it's a con disguised under being, in a dom sub thing. Because
and also, and I apologize. Just one last thing. Also, I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, a lot of women, they don't think, they don't really think highly of themselves. Even though Chantal acts like, oh my God, I love my weight, whatever. No, she does not like herself. She's not happy with herself. And they think they can't get any better. They settle right away. She was in love with him the first week, for the love of God. Like, they settle right away. They don't think they're good enough. Unfortunately, they're not strong women that think, okay, I'm okay on my own. You have to be okay on your own before you can enter a relationship with somebody else. And I'm sorry again. I think
that's the kind of women that men, quote unquote, like Nader, they're targets. That's what they look for. Nader would never be with a quote unquote normal, strong, self-assured woman, because that's not his type. He abuses and manipulates under the guise of being a dom, and that's not at all what's going on. But within their understanding, or what he has convinced her to understand, I do agree with Rose that there was some, role play, because the way that she was acting and all that, because and it just went off the rails. And I think that it's a cycle that happens all the time. We've known, this is why it blows my mind why people are sending this fool nudes, and they're acting all like, doe-eyed, confused, and then, like, oh well, what's done is done, and oh whatever, I'm I'm already on the farm, so oh well, and they take it so lightly, but it's very serious. And then they proceed to go and show their whole children on camera and stuff like that. It's very, very dangerous.
It is, yeah.
And I knew, even when Nader started acting up, and when Chantal started explaining what happened to her, and I'll give her this, she did tell the truth. And now, of course, she's still riding the vindication train with that. See, I wasn't lying, it happened to me, but she doesn't care that it's happening to Dede. She actually is happy that it's happening to Dede. But I lost my train of thought. But yeah, I was going to say that we all knew this. We figured him out months and months and months ago. And the fact that all his haram, people haven't figured it out, it blows my mind. It absolutely blows my mind.
Yeah, there's nothing halal about him. Like, it's the opposite of haram, because he's like, it's so funny how he's like, he stops at, pork. Let's drink, let's do drugs, and by the way, somebody just quick mentioned in the chat that BB, I know BB was a good man, but I think he, she was like already not a good person. She cheated on him, and and I think, he left her. I know she said she broke up with him. But I agree, BB is a good man. I mean, it wasn't, she's just not normal. Chantal. She doesn't know how to be in a relationship and be okay, and.
Yeah, I think Foodie even admitted it. Well, then she walks it back, but they were basically roommates the last few years they were together. Her and BB. So
Yeah. But yeah, she's, I don't know, she's she, like I said, like she barely remember, like it was literally a week. I just remember watching, just thinking, with FFG, because she knew him at the time, about him, and it was just crazy how fast she just like fell in love with him. And she said the first day, literally after the first night, she was already talking about how he was controlling. But some women, in the beginning, when they don't really know the extent of it, she was like, probably thought it was hot, or that he was jealous. She liked that he was jealous. I remember she said that. So, because she was, or she wasn't in a relationship. I don't know how long she was uh single at that time. I forgot.
So there's something about the abuse, though, that she or they crave. It makes them feel special, unique, dramatic, important. Because although Chantal did cry, and people disagree with me on this, on that one video after the breakup when Baby dumped her, and had her move out and all that, that video was the most sincere I've seen her crying. It was actual. She was actually distraught. Why didn't she go crazy stalking BB to the extent of Nader? Why didn't she, because she was upset for a little while, and she lived, doing her little time warps and her mukbangs and her doing her things with her Pete's and all that stuff. And then she meets Nader, and she's just gone literally insane. Why didn't she have that reaction to BB?
because BB wouldn't have tolerated it. BB wasn't going to play back. Nader plays back. Nader is just dramatic, and so I think, again, with, like, I think it was Erie was somebody was talking about that Dede, seems to like it. It's like foreplay, and I think that, the same with Nader. I think that's, and BB wouldn't have tolerated it. BB wouldn't have played into it. That's what I think.
Oh, and hi,
Hi,
YTR. I think I saw YTR in here in the chat. Just
hi
saying
everyone.
hi.
How are you? I have a question.
Hi.
Hi.
I have a question for Rose. Rose, with the role play, is it that it's easier for people to get into the type of scenario of dom and submissive if they had like an abusive childhood, like a traumatic childhood? Like, what makes someone like Chantal or Dede get into these type of relationships? Does it come from like childhood neglect, abuse, stuff like that? Like, I'm trying to.
No, it's not that. It's just that when you have like something like BDSM, some people are more naturally dominant and some are more submissive. A lot of people tend to think that if you, like, say, take the submissive person in that scenario, people tend to think that people who are submissive, that means that they're weak people. That the most surprising thing is that there's a lot of people that, in that lives that are submissive, they have very, high intense, high pressure jobs like doctors, lawyers, CEOs. It's just that it's like being a bus driver. You drive a bus for a living. When you get in the bedroom, you don't want to drive the bus. You just want to take the back seat. You want to take a different role.
Mm-hmm.
You want to relax and enjoy what's going on versus being the one that's in control, doing all of the, making all the decisions. So with being a submissive or a dominant, it's not about abuse and it's not about being hurt before. It's just that when it comes to erotic or sensual situations, you feel more comfortable in one role or the other. Regarding Dede and Chantal and Nader, I'm not quite sure what their defined roles are. If I had to, as far as Chantal, I think she's fooling herself into trying to think that she is submissive because that's what Nader requires and that's what he wants. But I don't really see her being a true submissive. I see her being more of a brat or perhaps a switch because she's got too dominant of a personality and she's all about control and she can't let really go of control. She just can't do it. Dede is more this. from what I've seen, the submissive type, but she, she has made comments about, oh, I want to be the dom. I want to be the dom. Well, that suggests that perhaps she might be a switch. A switch is somebody that can be dominant or submissive. I'm a switch. I can do either or. But it's all about what you feel comfortable with in the bedroom. Do you want to give the control to somebody? Do you want to be in control? That determines what you are as far as that lifestyle.
Oh, so Rose, can I ask you, and because I came late to the chat, so are you part of the what's the right word, lifestyle, or like this forgive
I,
my
I'm not actively in it. I have been involved in it. I know a lot of people in it.
Oh, okay. So that's why they're asking you. Okay, I'm sorry, because I was wondering when you were speaking about it, was it from experience or
Yes.
no?
I've had two
Right.
Toms before, and the
Oh,
one Dom that I still talk to, we've known each other for 15 years. He has never
oh,
mistreated me. I trust him completely, and he's a good friend to me. And that's the way good Dom should be. A good Dom would
Hmm.
never hurt nor abuse their subs. They take care of them, and they always leave you better than what they found you. They always try to help you improve yourself in whatever way you want to be improved. They'll give you advice about life, about relationships or whatnot. They leave you better than they found you. They never abuse you.
oh, okay. And I'm sorry.
Yeah.
When you were speaking, I was mentioning that somebody was on that one. I didn't know you were also, like you mentioned, you were in it. So I wasn't.
Yeah. Well, that's why I asked her, because I
Oh,
was, I'm kind of a little bit puzzled, but I also understand what Nader and Dede are. With Chantal, she can't even handle basic sex. She has no sense of sexuality. She doesn't understand how intimacy works. So I don't think that she's either dom or submissive. I think that she's, possibly asexual. She's hypersexualized because of the trauma in her childhood and the inappropriate things that she's seen and done in her childhood. But as far as myself goes, I agree with Rose. I'm a sub. I am, I've had doms in the past, but I've been married 21 years. My husband's a dom, and I absolutely trust him with my life. And not any dom I've ever had, and I'm going to be 57, so I've been around the block a little bit. Not anyone has ever treated me at all the way Nader is treating Dede.
so you guys,
That's
general, think that he, uh, it was just taken too far. That's your opinion with, I think, right, Rosa, and you think he was, it started out, role play or whatnot, and then it just kind of,
I think he's
it,
conning her. I think he was kind of trying, but he doesn't really know what he's doing. But more importantly, he's just a sadist. He's angry. He's violent, and he gets off on hurting people and making them scared, legit scared. He gets off on the power. He's absolutely not a dom. He's just a POS.
I actually will second what you're saying, MCM, but also I'd like to add this to that. I think, yes, he does get off on the power. I agree with you. But I also think that Chantal and Dede, they get off on poking at him and get him angry. I think it gives them a kick to get
Oh,
him angry, see
absolutely.
what they can get away with.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
like to push him.
yeah, absolutely.
well, that's an interesting point. Just because your Dede was kept, like you're saying, Rose, I think she or I don't know which one of you were saying about her saying constantly coward, coward. I guess you're saying she wants to try to get a, poke at him, just see how far they could take it. But
Yeah, they
that's a scary thing, though, right? Just to keep it scary.
So somebody in the chat, Adjust I, is saying you can't play at BDSM with a psycho. Very true.
Yeah,
True.
yeah, well said. Yeah. Yeah, because I've been in the brat role, and I would never behave like that. So Dede possibly also doesn't understand what it means to be a sub. They're all screwed up. So they're
Uh,
playing with fire, without the tools to know what the hell they're doing, and it's all kinds of messed up and dangerous, and
Kayla,
they feed off of it.
Kayla Marie is asking in the chat, Chantal gets off on humiliation. Is that part of BDSM? That is a subset BDSM. It's part of it. It could be part of it depending on the person. I feel that Chantal has a humiliation degradation fetish. Absolutely. She does have that going on with herself. She may not admit to it, but she has it. But I think that could be part of it. And something else that I've suspected for a long time, I think that the deal between Nader and Chantal, there's an element of financial domination. Uh, Basically, for those who don't know what that is, it could be part of the humiliation degradation fetish, and what it entails is the dominant, that could be Natter, who basically they get money from somebody and they don't have to do absolutely anything in return, even sex. They could just get the money from the person, and that's part of the person being humiliated and degraded. Ha ha, you gave me your money and I didn't do anything for it. So Chantal, we all know she's been giving money to Natter, buying him gifts, buying him groceries. She's still doing it. She could be doing it because he's telling her, "Oh, you're my sub, and this is what subs are supposed to do." But it also could be because of her humiliation degradation fetish, and there's that element of financial domination, which is still ongoing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but his hold of the English language. I mean, he is. You know how so many times Dee would say something like unless you're native or something, you could understand like certain certain things. He's so terrible. Like he can't understand anything, and barely. So sometimes I'm like, does he even know himself what in the world is going on, or just all this information that you're mentioning, or these like the names and everything. He doesn't, like, I wonder how he even got into this, just because he doesn't really, like, I remember, what's her name? He got mad at Dede at one time. I don't remember what it was for. And I think then he told her to shut up. She was kind of mocking him because he didn't know something. I wish I could remember what it was.
I remember it was the BLT, the bacon lettuce
Oh,
tomato
yes,
sandwich.
Yeah, and then he said, "Shut up" to her.
yes, yes.
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 Well,
Wow, you guys have good. Yeah.
Well, the thing with that, and this is where I apologize if I offend people, but this is an actual fact. You can do research. A lot of it is cultural. He comes from a country where women are barely second-class citizens. They're often treated like this, just in general. So he was raised around this. This is also part of his culture. And I'm not saying that all Egyptians and all Arabs are bad, but you also see similar behavior with Roman, how he's, very, the second a woman contradicts him or whatever, he gets very, very rude, very, very vile. And they both have this like strong machismo and bragging and all this, and everybody's calling them king and all this stuff. That's a culture thing. And I got a lot of shit on my channel when I mentioned that, because like, oh, you're racist. No, I'm not. It's a fact.
No,
That's part of it.
I was born and raised, I'm Arab, and I do agree with that, because it obviously depends where you live, because certain
Yes.
countries are more liberal than others. Egypt is mainly a Muslim
Yeah.
country,
And Morocco is a lot more progressive. I do know
yeah.
that.
Yeah, like so in his country, I mean, you're not going to get any, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of rules. There's no, there's no sex before marriage. There's no, homosexuality is forbidden. I mean, you can go to jail for that. It's just so many things. So when you are not able to just like, you don't just go out on a date. I mean, if there's honor killings and all I mean, you don't just go with a girl on a date or things like that. That's just that just doesn't happen. So for somebody like Nader, he's living that life there, and it's true. When he comes here, it's like all this freedom. He just doesn't know what to do with it, right? Because he hadn't had that over there. So it's true.
All right. Well, seems Foodie Beauty is still going strong. She's 2 hours in. OMG, she's gonna be online.
Is it still open chat, or did she cave?
Yeah, it's still open chat. So,
Wow.
I guess I'm gonna have to catch up on what she's saying because it's like a full-time job, time and a half actually, to catch up with her alone, much less Nader and everybody else. So I
That's
guess we
true.
can wrap this up. Maybe we could still do that BDSM stream if anybody is still interested in that. But other than that, prayers and condolences to Skinny Queen, Sarah Jane, to FFG because of Ali. Prayers and thoughts goes out to Linibo, as well as Shannon. There's a lot of people out there, having real world issues, problems, and losses. So I'd like to send prayers, thoughts, good vibes to everybody that's going through something right now. So I appreciate you,
Yeah.
everybody, for being on the panel. I did
Well,
post
thank you.
channel links to those who are here. And yeah, I guess we'll just wrap it up now. If anybody has any last thoughts, words, or anything, please go ahead.
Thank
No,
you
just
for having us.
yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Just want
All
to say
right.
thank you very much for having me on.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here, Perfect Imperfect MCM, Cerinthia, Frida, Rose Thorn. We also had Ari Pepperoni. Was there anybody else that was here that I'm missing? I don't think so. If I missed you, I apologize. But thank you for joining me for another one. And I'll see
Well, I
everybody
just wanted
later.
to say one thing. Mama Scrunch, you rule. You're epic.
She is pretty cool.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, Mama's Crunch. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. Thank you, everybody. Smash that like button for me, and I'll see you another time. Take care.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.